The injury that I had was, the vertebrae in my neck, C4, 5, and 6, were condensed, and the nerves that went down into my hands and the shoulders were bothering me, and I couldn't sleep at night, and it was burning down into my fingers, so it was waking me up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't sleep on my arm. It was getting pinched, so I felt kind of uncomfortable, and I decided to go see Dr. Tang, because I heard about him through a coworker who had the same problems going on, and he had gone and had surgery and told me that he had gotten relief from his pain.
One of the most common complaints that patients come to see me for is pain in the neck that goes into the arm. This is usually the byproduct of something squeezing on the nerve as it goes from the neck into the arm, and this is the condition that Mr. Giffen had. He had an overgrowth of bone as well as discs that would stick out and push on the nerve, causing pain to go down the arm as well as weakness and numbness.
The injury itself was starting to hamper me from doing the physical things that I like to do. I've always been active my whole life. So, my sons and I like to go mountain biking together and playing football and stuff like that, throwing the ball around. It was starting to wear on me where I couldn't do those things. And it was starting to slow me down, and I was starting to get depressed because of it was hampering my life. I couldn't do the things I like to do.
Oftentimes, people think, should I have surgery or should I not have surgery? But if you're a young individual and you have overgrowth of bone squeezing on the nerve and it's causing your symptoms to be worse and worse, the reality is that you're not really even deciding whether to have surgery or not. You're really essentially deciding when you are going to have surgery. Because if the condition is overgrowth of bone, the bone continues to grow over the years, and the condition can be expected to get worse. You may avoid surgery for a year, maybe even for 2, but the problem is the condition remains and becomes progressively worse.
He gave me the options, and one of the options was to go ahead and live with the pain, try some cortisone shots and stuff like that. And he told me that I should probably consider the surgery because if I were to get in an accident of some sort, like whiplash from behind or something, I could possibly be paralyzed from the bone spurs that were kind of around my spinal cord. So at that point I told him that I'd like to have the surgery done.
With Mr. Giffen, we made a cut in the neck, and at each level where there was a nerve being pinched, we removed the disc, opened up the tunnel for the nerve to head out to the arm, and then replaced the disc with a polymer which was packed with his own bone, and then set in place with 2 small little metal plates. And this was done at each one of the levels where he had a pinched nerve. After the surgery, he experienced some soreness, difficulty swallowing, but was essentially able to return to his activity within the 4 to 6 weeks.
Dr. Tang was a very comforting and positive person through the whole process. I really appreciated the honesty and the upfront talk that I got from him. He didn't beat around the bush. He just told me this is what's going to happen, and that's exactly the way it went. So I was very happy with the way things went with Dr. Tang.